All right, first and foremost, give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and who is worthy to be counted for double honors. And peace and salutations to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for love of the gospel. It's the brother Gabaria from the Indiana camp. Come back to get one other sit down. Yeah, man, this is basically who was it? This is a response. I've been watching a few videos, and I guess the IUIC came back out and saying that the full moon is what governs the Sabbath day, all right, and not the new moon, all right. Which, if you know the moon phases, the full moon being basically a moon, a full moon is basically where you can see its moon in its entirety, and a new moon is where you don't see a moon at all, all right. So we're just gonna hit a couple of scriptures. I'm not gonna make this too long. It's this subject we've touched over multiple times, but like the apostles and various elders and brothers basically reiterates, man, we're gonna sound like broken records, all right. We're gonna keep going over certain topics. We're gonna keep going over certain subjects over and over again, until the Lord calls us, not to go into it no more. So without further ado, hold on. I'm gonna hop straight into it. All right, this is Genesis chapter 1, verse 16. It says, "And Yahweh made two greater lights." It says, "The greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. And he made the stars also." All right, and these two lights that the Lord made was called namely the sun and the moon, all right, which is actually, if you go into that word moon, it goes into the word month, all right. So the word month is inexchangeable for the word moon, all right. And we're gonna see in fact, I know where it's at. It's like, hold on, bear with me for a minute. I'm looking for something. Here it is. This is Genesis 1 and 14. I should just start a little up. It says, and Yahweh made and Mala said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years." All right. So we understand that the lesser light and the greater light and the days and the nights are what dictates the signs and the seasons. All right. Like, for example, today is Saturday. All right. Let's say today will be the 7th day. All right. But it's Saturday at right now it's 10:02, so it's at nighttime. So right now we will be into the next day. All right. So the nightfall of one day is the beginning of the next day. All right. That's why we always say the Sabbath comes in at evening. All right. At evening is basically saying when the sun goes down. All right. So for a perfect example, right? Matter of fact, we just got done with the Sabbath. Right now, it was Friday night to Saturday night. All right. Friday night being the issuing in of the Sabbath, and then issuing in of the Sabbath, and then it ending by it being the beginning of the next day, which is the night of the previous day. So if Friday night is the beginning of the Sabbath, all right, the end of the Sabbath is going to be the beginning of the next day, all right, which is going to be nightfall, all right. So nightfall is the beginning, but also the end, okay, and it's interchangeable for that. So it says, It's it says, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years, man. All right. Because once you have so many days ended, you have a year, and so many days, and then there's 4 seasons within the year cycle. All right. You have summer, winter, autumn, which is fall, and spring. All right. So you have these 4 seasons throughout your year, and you have your days, and then you have your signs. All right, because the moon and the sun, which is going to get into in the 16th chapter, what I just read, it's also going to be set up for signs. All right, the moon being turned to blood. You have eclipses. You have lunar eclipse. So you have certain things you have certain signs that's going to be in the heavens from the suns and the moons that we can use. All right. So saying that the moon doesn't dictate the Sabbath, or saying that we don't know when the Sabbath is, or some shit like that, or saying the Sabbath is dictated, or the Sabbath ends by the full moon, man, that's completely not scriptural, man. And it's actually idiotic when you think about it. All right. Because how we get our holy days. Matter of fact, we're actually coming up on the Day of Atonement. And how do we get these feast days? The Day of Atonement, the Day of blowing of the trumpets, the Pesach. All right. How do we get these? Is by what? We follow the Sabbath, man. All right. You have certain months in the Hebrew calendar. As far as what? Abiv, Elul. What's another one? Nasir is interchangeable for Abiv, which is the first month. Elul is I think is the 8th month. This one starts with a T. But anyways, basically how we get all those months is basically what we go from the high Sabbath, which basically a high Sabbath is the beginning, is the first. Matter of fact, let me grab it. I gotta wait for this fucking ad. Come on, bro. How fucking long is this? This is just Satan, man. This is the Satan just trying to quench the spirit, trying to throw me off my game. All right. So where do we get the Sabbath from? First of all, let's get the origin of the Sabbath. All right. Here's the origin of the Sabbath. This is Genesis chapter 2, verse 2. I'm gonna start from 1. It says, "And the heavens, and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the 7th day, Yahweh ended." It's like it. And God ended. And on the 7th day, God ended his work which he had made, and he had rested on the 7th day from all that his work which he had made. All right. So this is where we get the 7th day from. All right. This is where we get the Sabbath being on the 7th day. All right. Because for 6 days you will work. All right. And on that 7th day, you is declared the Sabbath, when you won't do no laborious work. All right. And the scriptures, which I'm finna get next, the law goes into, you know your maidservants, your cattle. Everything is supposed to rest on that Sabbath day. All right. You even have a thing called the land Sabbath, which I believe every 7 years you're supposed to not plant there. All right. So if you've been planting in a specific spot for 7 years, on that 7th year, you're supposed to give that land rest. All right. And it's called a land Sabbath. All right. So everything after a period of time is supposed to have a rest. It's supposed to basically not work. It even goes for the land. Like I just brought up the land Sabbath, man. It goes for so yeah, man. In the kingdom, man, everyone when the Sabbath is hit, everything is going to be shut down. Most likely, probably everybody's going to be at the house relaxing. chilling, cooling. You know, ain't gonna be no businesses running. Ain't gonna be no farm work. You know, ain't no gonna be no buying, no selling, no fire being kindled. All right, no sex. Ain't gonna be no sex on the Sabbath. You know, everything is just gonna be resting, man. Everything is gonna be quiet. You know, that's gonna be the that's gonna be reestablishing the earth, man. All right. So this is where the Sabbath come from, you know, because what? Yahweh and the angels, when they were creating the heavens and the earth, they finished everything on the 6th day. So on the 7th day, they rested. All right. On the 7th day, they rested. And then, you know, they equivalent that into the law, which I'm finna get right now. If I can just keep this. Okay, I ended up finding it right here. This is Exodus chapter 31, verse 14. It says, you shall keep the Sabbath, thereof. You shall keep the Sabbath thereof, for it is holy unto you. Everyone that defileth it shall surely be put to death. For whosoever doeth anything therein, the soul shall be cut off from among his people. 6 days may work be done, but in the 7th is the Sabbath of rest, holy to the Lord. Whatsoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. You know, so like I was going into, basically the Sabbath being, you know, that 7th day and everything gets rest. All right. Just as we read in Genesis where, you know, the Lord, you know, built the heavens and the earth was completed on the 6th day, you know, and he took the 7th day as a day of rest. All right. You know, so it trickling down into the Sabbath, man. All right. Which is dictated by the full moon. Okay. We goes into the word moon. We already went into that, going into the word month. All right. And the Sabbath, how do you know when the Sabbath comes in? All right. By the issuing of the moon, man. All right. Matter of fact, let me get that. It's in Sirach. Where's the second Ezra? That's, here it is right here. This is Sirach chapter 43 and verse 6. It says, he made the moon also to serve in her seasons for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. All right. See, so how do we, so when we get the moon, we understand that we understand the times of what day it is, you know, of what season it is. All right. Of what of everything, man. We based our calendar off the moon. All right. We based everything. We based all our decision off the moon, man. Okay. So the moon was set up for it to be, as I read in Genesis, for time, seasons, days, and years. Okay. And in this scripture in Sirach, it says what? He made the moon also to serve in her seasons a declaration of times. See? So by you saying, man, the Sabbath isn't dictated by the moon, man, you basically saying the whole entire calendar is not dictated by the moon. All right? That's completely off, man. All right? We understand that what? We understand we have one Sabbath, which ends the month. And then guess what? 7 days after the first Sabbath, you're going to have 3 more Sabbaths after, man. All right? And then after that, after you have 4 complete full Sabbaths, then the month starts to end. And then you have your next Sabbath, which begins the new month. All right? And then so forth, man. You know? I'm going to get one more scripture. I'm going to just end it here. This scripture right here is like the bread and butter when it comes to the new moon being interchangeable with the Sabbath. All right? This is Amos chapter 8 and verse 5. It says, saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn, and the Sabbath, that we may set forth wheat, making the ephod small and the shekel great, and the falsify the balance of deceit. See? So right here, they were asking, when would the new moon be gone? Basically what? Because the new moon was interchangeable for the Sabbath, so they may sell corn, and so they basically can go back to buying and selling. All right? So it's right here, it's clear as day that the new moon and the Sabbath are one and the same. All right? Now, what they were doing here was completely off, because they said, what, make the ephod small and the shekel great. They was talking about imbalance. But we're not, that's a different subject for a different day. Right now, we're talking about that they wanted the new moon to be gone so they can start back, how can I say, buying and selling, man, because you're not supposed to buy and sell when it comes on the Sabbath. Matter of fact, let me grab that. I think that's what I initially wanted. I said, but. Okay, this is where it hits on not kindling the fire. I thought it was on one scripture, but let's get this one right here. This is Exodus 35 and 2. It says, 6 days shall ye be worked. It says, but on the 7th day there shall be unto you a holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord. Whosoever doth work therein shall be put to death. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitation upon the Sabbath day. See? So you're not supposed to kindle a fire, so any cooking is supposed to be the day prior. All right? Keep spelling word but. So I can bear with me for a minute. All right. All right. I can't find it right now. I have to probably look into it. But if you think about it, Scripture says what? You should not do no work in that day. If you selling, if your job is to sell, that's work. So, because it's coming down right now, and I need to get into the crib. So, Lord willing, I hope this video was edifying. Until next time, shalom.